The Valley of Memory DLC for Assassin's Creed Mirage is officially revealed, but it is not what you think it is, and it's better to lower your expectations. Why did I say this? I will explain to you in a bit, so make sure to keep watching this video till the end. First of all, I would like to talk about the positives so that you guys get an idea of what we're actually getting in the DLC. First of all, as many people expected, this DLC will take place in the middle of the storyline where we will see Basim looking for his father. It was a plot hole which was not touched in the main game because in Valhalla, Basim specifically mentions his father. But in Mirage, the story was so scattered that people literally forgot about Basim's origins, but this DLC will touch that topic. The DLC will feature 6 hours of total content, including 3 hours of storyline and 3 hours of side game activities. And if we talk about the side activities, then they're more like extensions of the activities from the base game, with the inclusion of only one new activity which is known as Folklore. I will talk about that later, but let's talk about the extensions. The game will retain some activities from the base version, including contracts, historical entries, chests, location objectives, and obviously viewpoints. But the activities that in our opinion made the game 10 times better is the inclusion of replayability factor. Since Mirage was already a pretty short game, so people finished it early on after its release. And with some updates they kept on improving the game, but it wasn't enough to give it a replayability factor or to increase its shelf life. Now with this DLC we're getting optional objectives or synchronization objectives that were present in Assassin's Creed 3, 4 and all the games before Assassin's Creed Origins. And these objectives usually increase the replayability of the game because now many people who have completed the main storyline will replay these missions to complete those objectives and earn extra rewards. Besides this, some new skill points and new abilities for Basim will be added, and how he gets those will be explained in the DLC. Plus, some obscure characters like Darvish will get some extra screen time. Now coming to the star of the show, the game will include a lot of parkour improvements. And the most talked about feature is free jump. As the name indicates, this feature will give us more control over our parkour system, as many people complained that the parkour in Mirage was much more linear and felt automated. So now we can jump whenever we like, just like in the original Assassin's Creed games. And with this free jump comes the ability to freely back eject, just like Assassin's Creed Unity. And this will be a cherry on top for YouTubers who make parkour videos. It's gonna look amazing. Some other activities include investigation. But in this DLC, they're bringing some investigative features where Basim would look for clues regarding the new faction robbers and will find their hideout. Speaking of this, the Tales of Baghdad will be returning in the form of the Tales of Alula. To keep it simple, they're more like small interactions between Basim and the NPC. And they're not like your typical side quest, but they actually have a narrative link to it. And that's what made Mirage an amazing game as compared to the other entries. The side quests are not repetitive. There will also be an option to make your control scheme similar to the classic AC games, because in those games instead of pressing the A or X button, we used to hold the right trigger and then press the A button to parkour. And since free jump will be added with this update, you will get an option to switch between the original control scheme which came with the game when it released and the classic scheme which is more like the classic games. And finally, the last set of changes that they will include is 2 new difficulties. These new presets are medium plus and very hard. So another challenge for players who are looking for a difficult experience. Now since the positives are done, let's talk about why I feel that Assassin's Creed fans should lower their expectations and do not hype it up. Ever since the reveal, I have seen some people actually praising the DLC for what it is, but there's still a faction of people who are hating on it. I don't understand this because this is a literal free DLC. What were you expecting? It's nothing like a paid DLC where you actually complain. Assassin's Creed Shadows recently got a DLC and it was paid, so people complained what they liked and disliked. But for this DLC, I think you should all be grateful that it's a free one. Because there's an activity that I mentioned before known as Folklore, where Basim sits and tells stories about the Arabic folklore to kids, I guess. People are even hating on that activity as well. They're saying that this DLC looks pretty similar to Origins, where the developers in the stream clearly said that with this update they will include 2 filters that will mimic the style of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins. This color scheme or color grading is more like a legacy filter that they will include. And the developers who are making this game are the fans of the Assassin's Creed franchise themselves. games. And the fact that they made Assassin's Creed Mirage on a limited budget shows their creativity. These guys are just waiting for a big budget and a creative idea, and they will absolutely smoke all of their Assassin's Creed games. And even with this free update, they included enough content where Ubisoft usually does in their paid DLCs. So their commitment is sky high. So this is why I strongly suggest you to lower your expectations. It's nothing like a major DLC or a major expansion like Rockstar does, but it's more like a gift from them to the community for supporting them. And with the addition of the features that we mentioned, it's unbelievable. Now finally, the release date, when you will see all of those features. And to save your time, this DLC along with its updates and features will release on 18th of November, which means a month is still left. And I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, goodbye.